Oh, so I kind of wanted to do a little bit of a rant video, I guess you could say. A good quick 10, maybe 10 plus minutes or so about the whole Nintendo Switch online and the whole expansion pack. And I do see online about everybody asking, is it worth the 80 to $50? And obviously, no. Of course it's not. Why the hell would it? Like it just makes no sense when I keep seeing people that try to either defend it or just they just pussyfoot around it, and then they're just like, yeah, well, if you never play these games and you want to experience an online experience and yada yada yada, you have the Nintendo 64 games, you have the Animal Crossing DLC, you have the Sega Genesis. It is not worth it. And one thing that definitely struck a nerve was when I would see stuff like, oh, you can't compare it to Xbox or PlayStation because either they've had a longer experience of doing it, and I was just like, that's really piss poor of an excuse. Like everybody keeps thinking, oh, well, the whole, I guess you could say on the lines of the whole touch grass type mentality of, oh, you're all just getting so bent out of shape. You all need to go touch grass, like the green screen I have here. Green is grass. But besides that, it just really makes no sense to me. Like, why would you want to have a service where it's like, hey, you're gonna get a random amount of games whenever they want? They first started every single month with the NES and SNES games, which was awesome. And now that I think about it, I don't remember. I think it was first the NES and then the SNES. I vaguely remember it because to be honest, nowadays I don't even remember any of the games that they put on it. Anytime I boot it up, it's like, oh, here's a new thing, but like, it's not something that's actually new. It's something they implemented months ago, but I'm just now seeing it because, well, I haven't opened up that app in like ages. I don't think anybody really has. And this whole, oh, you can play online and yada yada. It's like with especially with Mario Kart 64, like it's not that basic, you know. They have it to where the SNES. It's like you have to have friends. So if you're a loner like me and you like to just have random matches, like hey, I'll play Smash Bros or something. The reason why I got the online in the first place because of Smash Bros. If I wanted to play Mario Kart 8 online, I just say, hey, let me just pop out this Wii U and then hey, do it that way. It's not exactly the same, but hey, if it's free, I'm gonna go with D. But Smash Bros wasn't free as far as the whole online, so it's like you kind of have to go with something. And the only reason why I would have the family pack is because for me and my girlfriend, and then it's just like even now, it's like she barely plays the Switch. She'll play it every so often, but because it's like it's a year and it's like $30, I'm like, all right, cool, like it's the only way of playing online. And frankly, the Nintendo Switch now, it's like the hype has really died. The hype is dead. There is no hype within the Nintendo Switch anymore. I just don't see it. If anybody else sees it, cool. I just don't see it anymore. Like when it first came a thing, and it was like everyone was calling the year of Nintendo, the year of portability and playing high quality games on the go. It was crazy. Then you had a whole bunch of like Chinese handheld PCs in your hand, the GPD and the DPDs and the Ioneos and all that stuff that like everybody was popping off. Everyone, even in the mobile game market, like you had Androids and well, frankly, only Androids. Nobody gonna have a modified Apple device, but yeah, and then they would put like handhelds on it. Like I have the Moki i7S and where's it at? Yeah, like I also have the little PlayStation phone, Xperia Play that kind of ordered off of nostalgia, and hey, I can't really do much with that since it's kind of locked to ice cream sandwich. But other than that, it's like, with those two devices that I showed you, I could easily just get an emulator, relive the experience of Nintendo 64, Genesis, NES, SNES, even GameCube, even some Wii to a certain extent. You know, it's like Nintendo's doing what emulators have done for years, and it's sad when it's like they always go after the whole emulation scene. Granted, there are some reasons like the whole Metroid Dread that it just came out and people are already playing it, and frankly, it's like as far as emulators go, it's like yeah, sure, you know, it's literally like I guess you could say reverse engineering of the system and then putting it up on PC or Linux or Mac, wherever, and then you're just playing it that way. You know, you're getting your personal definitive edition of a Nintendo Switch title, which frankly, I mean, yeah, that 60 FPS for some of the games, yeah, it definitely looks good. I mean, look at Breath of the Wild. Like they called the emulator CMU into ZMU, or at least that was the running gag with it because that was mainly for Breath of the Wild for the Wii U and stuff. And then they were saying how Yuzu and Ryu Jinx is like Muzu, or I guess, because of Mario Odyssey and whatnot. But besides the whole nicknaming and whatnot, it's like it's sad that Nintendo is coming up with these really scummy practices, and then now everyone's like, "Well, at least we get free DLC." And when it's like, no, it's it's not that way. Like, and I feel bad because there are going to be people that think that way. You know, there's going to be people who are naive or too young, and then they think that way. Because when I was younger, and I was like, oh, okay, I can either buy like a month of PlayStation Plus, or I can play Just Cause 2 because that was a game that I had, and the disc would always mess up at a certain point, and I wanted the game, and the game was on PlayStation Plus, and then I buy PlayStation Plus, and then after I look online because I had a feeling that maybe it was one of those 2020 hindsights of you probably should have did this before that, and I looked it up online and was like, hey, do you get to keep the PlayStation Plus games? And then I'm just like disappointed because no, obviously you don't. And it's kind of that same situation with the DLCs. Sorry about the green screen. With the DLCs and whatnot, that a lot of people aren't going to know. And it's like I'm not even sure if in the Nintendo Switch expansion pass, I don't think they mentioned that really. They just said, hey, here's some free DLC for Animal Crossing. That's it. And then now everyone's speculating, hey, we can get more free DLC, but it's like it comes to a point that, say if I still had that PlayStation Plus membership from all the way from like 2010, 2011, whenever it was, right? And then up until now. And if we got to keep every game we had, you know, added onto the library so far, it comes to a point that you would be paying for the service to the point that you could have just bought all the games that got on there. That's what it's gonna come down to, you know. Like, yeah, sure, it's cool and all, but like, you know, something's gonna stack, and then something's gonna be having way more worth if you had done something. Basically, it's hindsight once again. So it's just something that really makes me kind of agitated when I see videos of, is it worth it? You know, oh, you should get it if, like, the whole argument of you should get it if you never played any of these games. No, hell no. Like, cellular device. Like, it's cool. It's cool. You know, it's like, it's a simple Google search away to play some retro ass games. I mean, it's way better than buying it from people from scalpings. I mean, hell, we have goddamn Super Mario Bros. Being sold for like $1 million. Out of the box, just preserved in like a little pixie glass, like whatever the hell it is. And it's like that's selling high as hell. Meanwhile, there was people that probably put in a shit ton of effort into it and who are either dead, sick, closely dying, or just fired or moved on to other things. anything that's basically not giving them money, that's a piece of that, 1 million bucks or however many of a price range it was. And sad. Nobody, especially people that have a growing voice for YouTube, they don't need to be saying something like, hey, you should still get it because blah blah. No, hell no. And then you have people like me who are criticizing the service because it's really a really shitty service. It really is. First and foremost, it's like compared to everything else, and then the fact that people will say, hey, you can't compare it to, why not? Why can't I compare it to the other competitors? Like, I understand we're not in the whole console wars anymore, but as far as service wise and who gives you the best service, yeah, that kind of matters a lot. It really does. It it really matters, and people play it for a very short value, and then they have this voice and they have this following of people who will easily just watch their stuff and then, oh, I'm gonna be brain dead, I'm gonna just agree with them because they're my favorite content creator, which even that term I fucking hate because that's a whole different story as far as YouTube goes, but it just makes no sense. Like, don't buy the damn expansion pack. Like, you can just download an emulator, download some sort of net play. Like, there's methods of doing this stuff. It's similar to how people say, oh, Nintendo Switch Online doesn't even have voice chat, but like you have app like Discord and stuff like that, which I don't know how to use Discord like that. I really don't, besides just joining groups and stuff. But it's like, yeah, I could definitely see that being a thing and something that's essential. But it's like, I don't want to have to have my phone, have my Switch, and then just, hey, be like, hey guys, hey, yeah, I'm still trying to play the game. Well, hold on, let me see. Hey guys, I'm trying to play the game right now. It like, it makes zero sense. Like, I don't see how people could justify it. Like, for the ones that actually do. Like, I understand a good majority of people really don't, but even the people who are really high up there, they'll be on the whole, don't blow this out the water and stuff like, no. Like, why are you telling people that, it's not a big deal when it clearly is a huge big deal? People who are so, I guess, I forgot that word. They're so complacent in how things are that it's just, clearly there could be a change to it. Clearly people can criticize a company, and then it's like all people see that as is like, oh, people being baby mad or something or some shit like that. It just doesn't make no sense. How are you mad when you want better from a company, especially a company that you have nostalgia for? I don't know, man. There's probably more that I wanted to say, but I kind of just want to rant a little bit because it really just doesn't make no sense. Probably rant and then show my face on the camera with the messed up green screen in the back, but it just makes no sense whatsoever. And frankly, don't listen to all the YouTubers that really have that high following that's pretty much going on the whole, I'm gonna play it safe because Nintendo may or may not give me a review copy because of this, shit like that, because that's the day and age that we're in. You have to mince your words a little bit just so you can get a review copy. It's sad. It's really sad. The heavier you are when it comes down to criticizing stuff and critiquing, I should say, the more likely that you're not going to be in good favors with anyone, which is like defeats the purpose of having like early access. Imagine you pay for early access and then they're like, hey, we're gonna ban you because you're critiquing our stuff way too hard. It's like the whole Cuphead tutorial, which even to this day will stay relevant because it's like, hey, this one guy is not the face of our whole reviewers type, whatever the hell business that we go for. You know, he just happened to be there and we needed somebody, and that was it. Otherwise, that's like one dude giving a really shitty take, and then everyone's like, well, I guess we're all not playing Cuphead, and then Cuphead just tanks. But besides that, I just wanted to get this out the way. Don't get it. Don't get it. If you have a family of actually 8 people, good, get it. Fucking get it. That's goddamn nice. But if you just like, if it's just like you or a few other people, it's like, nah, unless you're all splitting it, cool, do that. Still don't think it's worth it because 80 goddamn dollars, and with tax, it's probably going to be like 85 realistically. But wow, that's a high demand for no change whatsoever, other than hey, you know, randomize RNG of N64 Genesis games and one pack of DLC that you will not own, and probably more down the line, which even then that just makes it look even worse compared to every other competition out there that you do have to compare it to. But yeah, man, just be weary of how YouTubers say to tread lightly, because some of them just get them review copies early, and then you know that's it. Yeah, yeah. It's kind of a sad state that Nintendo is in right now. I don't know when they're gonna get that second rise. Hopefully, we get like some more news on stuff, and hopefully, we get that Switch Pro. You know, like hopefully, haha. But until next time, peace out.